Oh, nice. Already got someone in the chat. Hello. Hi. Blessings. All right. So I won't be here long because I got to get back to this work. Okay. I am working and I'm going to do just a quick update, but I'm also going to also encourage people to uh, get in touch with me. Okay. All right. We got a lot of work to do here and I'm ready. But I wanted to come and let you all know that we're safe and that we're fine. Now, part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and do this quick live is because, again, the gang stalkers, they have been at it, making assumptions, making negative affirmations towards me, and just assuming the worst, even though I've always been a very lucky and loved person. In fact, there's never really been a time in this world that I did not feel loved. Even during the hard times, I still always felt loved. Okay. Hey Stefan, Dim Sugar. Okay, hello. Yeah, I am. I am. We are. And we've been good for like hours and hours while people were obsessing. And you know what? I'm not even gonna explain why, because guess what? Um Everybody that matters to me truly in this world, and everybody that counts, the people that love me, they know that I'm okay. Keep that in mind. But see what I wanted to talk to you guys about real quick, and I'm keeping it real with y'all. This fake concern that these people have been showing for years was literally done to cause harm. So these dudes have been going live, and then they've kind of taken the wheel, with the support of whoever in the background, coming on here saying that we're outside and this is the stupidest thing ever. It really is. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm outside right now. Yeah, I'm outside because I didn't want to discuss this where I'm at. Am I going to say, oh, well, we left that place or we stayed at this place or we at the. I'm not going to do all of that. Not, right now, what we need is peace and quiet. And everybody deserves their serenity. I don't know why people, I have no idea. Maybe it is because there are some people that do weird things with their folks or something. I have no goddamn idea. But I don't want to go there. I don't, because what it does is just this right here is, triggering some kind of response. Because you know it's weird. I'm not married. I don't have a husband. I'm not currently married to, nor am I with a man, nor have I ever been seriously involved. In my humble opinion, I know a lot of y'all may, because a lot of y'all love me and care about me, and y'all like, what the hell? I ain't never been involved with no man that's jealous of my kids. So that's just not happening. Yeah, no, 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 not even yeah, no. Do y'all know what yeah, no means? It means yeah, I'm hearing the idea, but no, no, no. But yeah, I don't even, yeah, I would never do that. Okay. So, anywho, yeah, we are fine and we are good and we are fed and we are loved and we are taken care of. Okay. Just to let y'all know. Yeah. Yeah, And so It was something else I was going to say. Just to let y'all know, when we got evicted last year, that had nothing to do with those people. This time, this incident getting us thrown out of the extended stay, I've always taken seriously when they do things like that. But yeah, that really, 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 that swap that they did at that extended stay, it's definitely being investigated. So, I know that they go into their psychosis because they're dealing with some kind of energy that just gives them no self love whatsoever. Because if they love themselves, they wouldn't be doing shit like that, would they? Excuse my language today. Okay. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I wouldn't have done that. And then it triggered because we were in such a good place. We were like on our way doing what we're doing. And because certain people, it's astounding. It is. So, I don't know what these people think they're doing. I have no idea, but I don't have any reason to be afraid or scared. So I can't come on here and say, "Hey, y'all, I'm doing this next week. I'm here next week, or I'll be home by this." I can't do that. I can't do that. As you guys can see, certain people can't even know the date that my lease agreement is up. You can't even you can't give them no information. And it's pesky, it's annoying, you know, because while we're doing deep, deep work, the evil eye is such a very petty thing, but then again, it's such a big thing. You know, can I ever be cursed by the evil eye? No. You know what? There's a lot of homeless people out there right now that got the evil eye curse on them. They don't even know it. That ain't gonna never happen to me. I'm too strong of a person. Y'all already know. So it just I don't even know why anybody would do that, but it just is what it is. But we have important work to do. So I don't come on here and talk about. I talk about my plans. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. I'm gonna have a spiritual spa with the teepees in the back for smoking of the hashish. We're gonna be making mead or med or whatever they call that drink. Apple cider, spice cider, just chilling, relaxing. That spiritual spa, that healing spa. Okay. You know, I mean, we all know that, right? We all know my dreams of my custom built lake home. You know what I'm saying? But like, as far as like with ritual stuff, okay, there's certain things that I'll discuss, but what we have coming up, we're going to be on the hush hush with that. Okay. We're going to be on the hush hush. Because believe it or not, my adversaries come on here and they steal my ideas. They steal ideas. But they only steal the ideas to try to use it against me, which just makes no sense. It's like, why don't you take the ideal and make the world better? Yeah, exactly, dim sugar. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. As y'all can see, It's just certain things that, honestly, and then, you know what, I'm going to say this. If you are a person brings a lot of misfortune to people, please know that's an evil eye curse. And you should get that removed from you. And you should not keep that on you, because those spirits and that energy is not serving you, right? It isn't. It's interfering with your happiness and your connection to God or Goddess or the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It really is. So, and some things just bring misfortune. Some associations. There's, people are in denial about that. I know that for me, I was born on a Thursday under the life path number 8. I've always done nothing but bought people good fortune. It's just always been who I am. And I've never, had an intention of just hurting people. I just like to feel good. I just like to feel good. I just like to be good. I never once heard my parents tell me that I was a bad child. And if you was a bad child, hell, or if they called you bad, I personally don't. Well, okay, there are evil children, but not none I would give birth to. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we've heard about them throughout history. Somebody had to have made that happen, but I guess they can be born that way. But I just, and so that's why I was talking to y'all about not only clearing out your karma, but then the karma of others. Okay, clearing that out, and then also, uh, we've become a lot more wiser with dealing with the evil eye curse. Okay. So, that stuff can really, 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 and we have such a good plan of action into place to deal with that. But see, guys, I've got to get to a space in which it's gonna happen when I get to, uh, when I get back home, which we're not even going to talk about when that's going to happen. We don't need to talk about when. Um, but I've got to get myself to, and that's not to say, guys, still come to me to talk about your spiritual work. Still come to me to get things started even before I get back home. Let's keep it a buck, guys. My business is what finances me. And, we can't hold out for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, what I'm saying? So it's not like the location that I'm at is going to prevent spiritual work. I mean, I'm in Georgia. This is like the mecca of spirituality. It's just different. It just hits different. You know what I'm saying? But I got to be in a space where while I'm doing that type of work, I can do my bonfires. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are important. They are important. Okay. Like, I can burn an incense stick, or burn a few herbs or whatever inside of a space, but burning the sage, the rosemary, whatever it is that we're burning, that's important too. Okay, because I have a conglomerate of ancestors, and they all did things differently. So I'm very eclectic. That's how I ended up very eclectic. And so, especially when I'm doing certain workings, as a practitioner that is very deeply connected with shamanism, there's typically every single day, when I have my own home, which, oh my God, I cannot wait. I have my own home, just step outside, light the fire up for my in my fire pit, and then it's all good. What you do internally though does matter. Okay. External does too, but internally it does as well. You know what I'm saying? And so I know it's all kind of stuff going on around out. That's why your adversaries want to know where you live, because they can come to your house and they can lay down tricks at your house. Somebody can literally come by your house, write an incantation and toss it in your front yard. But you got to have something to counteract that. You know what I'm saying? So hey, Hammer Time Funk. Hello. I'm talking about that no more Hammer Funk. Oops. I ain't talking about that no more. We no, I have, but I will tell you, this is the last time. I have not gotten anything. No, to me that money would be cursed. Cause what in the world? I'm sorry. To me, that's like selling your soul for $100. Like what? Really? Uh-uh. Yeah, they can do, but you can do what you do about it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is what it is. So we definitely will be making power moves, and I'm talking about and only a few select that I trust is who I revealed this to. But I gotta tell y'all something, man. If you come in as a client, you have got to be loyal, and you cannot discuss. Because you know what? I love, love, love showing clients my work, the work that I've done for them. And, then also I'll send you stuff. So, what I'm going to start doing with all of my clients, and then even my existing clients that I'm working with right now, as soon as I get myself home, I'll be mailing you guys certain things, that you need. Okay. And so I'll let y'all know what that is and what it's for. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, it'll be very, very powerful, because a lot of people ain't just dealing with one thing. We dealing with several things, sometimes 100 things at once. And y'all know, as a high priestess with a spiritual business, at some point I had to learn. I had to learn. I'm tell y'all straight up and down. That's why I've been dealing with what I've been dealing with, and it's healthy. It's healthy for me to go through what I've been going through. It's not. It's inconvenient. Hell, it's been tiring as hell. But you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of in good shape. I need to do some squats. You know what I'm saying. I can rest later. I'll rest soon. Okay, get plenty of rest. I got. I'm gonna have a whole right to kind of rest and relax, for at least a few weeks or a month. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't mad at people. It's like our job. I'm not mad at you, because some of my loved ones, well, some people that I really care about, clients have suggested that, uh, to kind of, because they've, clients obviously, but to go through what I just went through, guys, my spirits are like, no. They're like, no, you already been like, the lessons that I had to learn to teach me to be able to do my job as a high priestess was already going to be strenuous alone. But then to have to deal with the extra stuff. See, they see that as extra. They don't see that as something. They're like, we didn't ordain that. That's why I said I trust my spirits, because my spirits did not ordain all of that. They didn't. But then again, it comes with the territory of social media and people with different values and beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, to be honest with you, I'm supposed to help victims of gang stalking, because gang stalking typically is done in quiet. Like, it's usually a silent but deadly killer. And people that you see roaming around the streets, they was being gang stalked. But for what reason? Everything got taken from them. They got gutted. Okay? So I know what I'm talking about. But see, with me, if even if, okay, some people can't see that stuff. Some people, you know what I'm saying? They just, and it ain't their fault. But for me, the whole gang stalking thing didn't even have to be in social media for me to see it or hear it. Okay? I would have still known it. But the difference would have been totally different. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, it was like an obstacle course of learning, and I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I just don't want to continuously talk about it, because it's not a conversation that I'm interested in hearing. Because to be honest with you, I was so protected and blessed and highly favored that it was a requirement. Like, nobody would ever be able to move in silence around me. They would have to be like, "Bitch, I'm here." They have to, people would, what I'm saying? I can't help it. I was born on a Thursday at 10:10 in the damn morning on June the 23rd of 1977. And people be trying to run around here and act like, 1977 was an amazing year, because it was a new birth of another generation around that time, up underneath the baby boomers. So that, that's very significant. Okay. Right. It just, we got better things to talk about. And really, to be honest with you, Unicali, I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. There's 24 hours in a day. How many hours of those days, how many hours in a day are you supposed to be in silence? Think about it. If you were to record how many times you had to use your voice, how many hours would it be? How many hours would you be using your voice? So, you know what I'm saying? And like, so, but you know, the days of all of that, like advertisement and all that, well, I'm always gonna advertise. I'm always gonna invite people to get readings, but I'm talking about, like, you know, uh, we just gonna let the chips fall, is what we're gonna do. But I will tell y'all that I am going to urge y'all. I am gonna urge y'all to get in my Maybon group. And see, Spirit was talking about canceling that group, and I'm gonna ask them, and I'll let y'all know. I'll just make a quick live and say, we decided to forego that. But I'll work with y'all on an individual basis, okay? So we might go ahead and because typically the Sabbaths are supposed to be celebrated with close family, and your coven. I don't have a coven at the moment. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? So I may just, everything that we're working on, I can make a suggestion and, let you know, but I can promise you that what we're dealing with right now is y'all have collected a bunch of people's karma, especially if you're an empath or if you're a woman, and even some of these babies out here. So that why y'all think I'll be running around here frantically protecting my grandbobby and my granddaddy, daughter, grandbobby. I call my grandson grandbobby, and my granddaughter I just call her granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? That's how I say it. I don't know why I'm silly. I'll be frantically protecting him. I ain't never got no phone call from my daughter that boy had bad colic. He ain't gonna never have no. Because I'm gonna tell you, when them babies, please don't let your baby have no damn colic like that. Baby screaming their head off because they stomach feel weird and they don't feel good. Because people be attacking them babies, they heart, they stomach. Baby be throwing up and shit, projectile vomiting and shit. That be spiritual attacks on y'all babies. I'm telling you. Don't let your baby, man, that baby's supposed to be happy, supposed to preferably be getting mother's milk, but that's okay if you're giving them formula. Hey, we like babies that are fed, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? So you still a very good mother. But, when they be having colic and stuff and all that, that's it. No, no, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. And then as the mother, you absorb it, right? Because you're going to take everything from your baby that's hurting them. That's just a mother's job and a father's job too, right? But especially the mother, okay? And, but then you still dealing with it. So, you know what I'm saying? And, I don't know. A lot of people will, these people that eh, do things differently than how we do it, the witches, they really don't understand. But see, they don't understand that their great grandmother, great grandmother, great great grandmother, she was doing some kind of witchery, whether or not it was in the kitchen or whether or not it looked like what we do. Okay, so if you good, just know that some kind of witchery was going on because there was a woman. So that's why I don't understand, like, unless it was some evil going on, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't used to that. I know a lot of y'all dealt with that. Your mothers, your grandmother was, just not very good. And it's caused your perception to be a little skewed, you know? But, it's going to be okay because there's people out there that you can trust. There's people out there. And like for me, why would I be that evil type of person? What good? How would that serve me? How would that serve my family? That, when I decided to take this path and it wasn't something that I decided to do. That's why I keep trying to tell people. I would be at work. I would be at work and spirit would just, somebody say something, be like, what? My first sign that some kind of portal or gateway was open. Remember I told y'all when I was working at Sprint, and my male coworker, he flashed me like he was showing me his stick. And I'm like, what in the world? And then I snitched because he was making me feel very uncomfortable, and I shouldn't have snitched. I didn't have to snitch. I ain't even gonna, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I felt uncomfortable is because, you know what? But I don't know, maybe X all that. Uh, I ended up getting demoted and shifted around, and That was crazy. I was like, why y'all blaming it on me? Like, I got punished because this man, but it was the first sign. It was one of the major signs of spirit because I was so comfortable in that job. I was I was a service provisioning specialist. So basically, what I did was all the computer coding for people's VoIP home phone service. Okay, how big was it? I didn't see the whole thing. He just, down to the but yeah, you're right. You're right, Nicolette. I can see like the top of the horn. Anyway, y'all stop, okay? It, yeah, yeah, man. But so and then when I started working from home from other companies, Spirit contacted me by I would get listen, I would get the phone calls with the most problems, and the caller would almost like need my healing. Guess what? I was working in customer service. I would always get dinged and reprimanded when I would have meetings with my boss, when they do your reviews, and I would never get a raise. Well, your talk time is too high, so we can only raise you 25 cents. What I'm going to do with 25 cents? That I'm going to start my own business is what I'm going to do. But I never, actually, guys, I did. I started my own business making candles. I started making handmade candles. And that was when I had Midwest Candle Company. Okay. That was when I had Midwest Candle Company. Okay. And so, and I'm going to make candles again. I love making candles. I love candles. Candles are not evil. Do y'all know that people used to light their homes with candles before technology? When there's a storm, when the lights go out, you got to have candles. There's nothing wrong with candles. Okay. As long as you have them consecrated. Even people that ain't witches, Christians can consecrate their candles. Their emergency candles. Just whatever you do, good Lord, don't let nothing come through this flame that I don't want. Amen. Then just go on with life, okay? It's gonna be okay. Yeah. So yeah, and that candle that you're showing, I love drippy looking candles. And I like for a candle to look like it's already been burned, like in drippy. Like I like those. So, kind of designer candles. So I did that years ago, and then I had to go through the spiritual metamorphosis. eh, you know, and then that's when I kind of came to YouTube looking for that camaraderie, but I'm not even gonna say nothing. Looking putting up in all the wrong places. I ain't gonna say that because anyway, I ain't tripping. It's all good. So, yeah. But I just wanted to come and tell y'all that real quick. Let me get back in here. I gotta get a new charger for my phone though, y'all. Because this charger is just like it'll get my phone up to like 40% now. And I don't know, I might need a new phone, but I think it's the charger because it's charging it kind of slow. Usually my chargers uh it'd be like 20 minutes and that thing be on 100%. So, so yeah, but I just what was I going to say? Yeah, I can't, cuz and you know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. There's games and then there's intention. And those people have an exact intention of destruction, probably even death of me. So I'm not playing. I ain't never. I don't play around with that. I don't have to. Okay. So oh yeah, you can use a flashlight too. I break out my candles before the lights go off, and we lived in Kansas City, Missouri, our whole lives. My grandmother, she never ever her lights would never go out, like during a storm, even an ice storm. Her lights would never go out in her house. Like it was so miraculous. So that was like it was weird. Even when the whole block's lights went out, and there was no generator. I was like, how is this lady keeping the lights on? She'd be standing at the door. Everybody else's lights is out. I guess they having a power outage. I'm like, Grandma, I'm like, this don't matter. Shouldn't our lights be out? No, not necessarily. I'm like, yeah. It was, you know, it didn't bother me. I just go watch TV. You know, listen to my music. So, anywho, y'all. All right, y'all. That's pretty much it. But yeah, let's start focusing on it. I know that they're trying to throw off the focus, which I'm telling people you cannot afford for your focus to be thrown off. And if you are somebody that began to accept the inner workings of that mess, I think spirit may be open, because I didn't know, like, that's a lot of God. It's a lot of condensed negativity. You got to know how to deal with it. It's just negativity that I mean, think about it. Negativity has destroyed generations of people. So, it ain't special to me. I think that what is special is when you can turn that negativity to positive. That's what's special. That's what's special. Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. Kelly, what's your zodiac sign? I forgot. My grandma was an Aquarius. My grandmother was an Aquarius. My mother was a Virgo. My aunt Ernestine that I just lost, she was a Leo. I don't know Forstine's zodiac. Not to me. I don't like. Oh, okay, cool. You a Leo. Okay. Hey. I guess it's easier for them. I don't know. Thinking negatively gives me a headache. There go another butterfly. It's a yellow one. A yellowish lime green. I've been seeing them a lot lately. So anywho, so and just FYI, the whole timeline shifting. Yes, 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 yes. And it's not scary. Don't worry about it, because once you do the timeline shift, and you get people up out of your timeline, straight up and down. Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay. It's not a scary thing. People are not attacking you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what we do is we protect you from any and all backfiring and regression. So, but that's one of the reasons why a lot of y'all will light a reversal candle, backfire, money candle, backfire, purification candle, backfire. How the hell a purification candle gonna backfire? That's crazy. 12/16/1993. 666. Stevan, you a Sag. Hey. Ooh, and you was born on 8/8. Hey. Nice. Happy belated birthday. I didn't know you was a Sagittarius. I love my Sagittariuses. I like Jupiter. So yeah, y'all gonna see videos going up about projects, stuff that we working on. It be, it ain't too many videos I can put up. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them, eh, you know, but I still do that because I still have to reestablish myself. When you're reestablishing, because it was so much stuff going on. So, anywho, that's pretty much it. I'll talk to y'all later. This turned into almost an hour conversation. All right, let me go, y'all. Let me get back in here. Okay. Nice. Y'all so young. Y'all making me feel old. No, I'm joking. I just be saying that. Just be saying it. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one, though. Okay. All right. Bye.